There's no really best unit you need to have in this game, but right now there kind of is one that is getting really close to that, and we're gonna cover him in today's video. By the way guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Our ultimate goal is to eventually get to 100k subscribers, and by subscribing, you get to be part of the OG subscribers of AB Plays, and at 60k subscribers, we're gonna be doing another small giveaway. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to be part of this giveaway and to be also part of the OG sub of AB Plays. Alright, so the unit I'm talking about, probably you guys already expected it from the thumbnail, is going to be Killua. And the reason why he is super overpowered, a lot of people are saying he is overrated, but he is far from overrated. So I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly what I mean by that. And also, before I get into this, I wanna say that you can benefit a lot from All-Star with Killua, but I think Genesis would also be really good. And the reason why Genesis would be really good is because, number one, Genesis will allow him to ignore elemental rules, which means that he will not do 50% less damage to enemies that he is weak against. So that will probably be against enemies such as, I forgot what purple is weak against, but he will now not do 50% less damage to those units. And again, also because there's 3 of them, you can fully use their full AoE capabilities and the fact that they can also stun. So I think because of his insane range and SPA, I think the damage 3 is the best for him. So okay, so we're gonna do it here. So this is a high cost extreme challenge, so it might be kind of hard. Not really hard because it's the first map, but basically Killua is just, the reason why I'm saying he's, the unit that is very close to being a must-have is because he has everything. Now, number one thing that you should know about Killua is that he is an incredibly cheap unit, costing only, I think, around 700 to place. Yeah, I think he costs around 700 to place without high cost, and his first couple of upgrades are also extremely cheap. So that's a big plus on him. Now, he does have a weakness. His first couple attacks will not be an AoE. It's a single target, which means that he won't be able to attack as much. But I think it's fine, because if you take a look at his upgrades, and by the way, this is with the high cost. Okay, but disregard everything that I said about him being cheap and all that stuff. Let's say, for example, that he's not doing very high damage because, for example, you are in a map where certain units are more effective. Killer is a unit that you can still bring in that map because of his capability to also support your units. So let's say, for example, Killua, you can use him as your main DPS sometimes, but if you're in a mode where you cannot use him as your main DPS, you can use him as a support unit because he is the first full AoE on high upgrade and heal unit and support unit in this entire game, which basically kind of means that he is insane. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, full AoE on max upgrade. He also does kind of change his form right there, as you can see, but he can still stun the enemies, as you guys can see right there. And I tested this out in trials, I tested this out in a bunch of game modes, and is really helpful. So again, even if you can't use him as your main DPS, you can use him as a support unit, which is just absolutely good because he becomes a very versatile unit that you can use basically with any team. To mention, my goodness, bro, that model actually kind of looks nice. Or not really the model is kind of basic, but what I'm talking about is the eyes, right? The eyes kind of looks really nice here. Those eyes look really drippy. So yeah, and you can have all of them be full AoE, which is really nice, and all of them will be stunning your enemies. And as you guys can see right there, we cleared it relatively easily, which is pretty cool. One thing that I would like to add onto this, and why I'm glazing Killua so much, is because, okay, let's just ignore the fact that he's full AoE. He's a hill unit, which means he can target, flying enemies, ground enemies, and all that other stuff. Let's ignore the fact that flying enemies are starting to become a problem and that Killua is insanely useful for them. Let's ignore the fact that he has good DPS, good range, and he's incredibly cheap, and the fact that he also has support capabilities. Let's ignore all of that and just talk about how easy he is to get. So in order to get him, all you have to do is summon for him in the banner. Now, right now you can't really get him because he's not in the banner. But in order to get him, you just need to get the killer 4-star unit. Now, he is a 4-star unit that evolves into a 5-star. So if you can get the 4-star unit from the banner and then finish your story mode, which honestly, the story mode is really easy to finish if you have decent enough units. Goku can probably finish this. Goku and Eren combined will probably be able to finish City of York, which is the hardest map right now. Those units can probably clear that very easy. And once you got that, you can easily get Killer evolved, and he is very powerful. He is probably, if I was a beginner, the unit that I would just go straight for because of how good he is. Now, can you use him in game modes like Trial, maybe? Well, that really is up to you. That kind of pretty much depends on you. But yes, you can bring him in Trials because, again, with the reasons that I mentioned, you can use him basically as a support unit or as a DPS unit. And actually, we're gonna go hop on into a match here, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so here we are in a game in the trial mode. So why did I not do the summer trial? Even though it's the hardest, you know, it's the best place to test. The reason why I didn't do summer trial is because it's annoying. I don't like doing summer trials, and I would just rather show it here. Also, I don't have Akainu yet, and I like Akainu more than Crocodile because Akainu is also significantly better than Crocodile. Alright, so what we're gonna see here is I'm gonna be placing a Crocodile here. This is mostly where the people place their Crocodiles, and it's for a good reason. It's because, I mean, again, Crocodile can be full AoE. So take a look at this right here. He's already attacking enemies, and the enemies are getting stunned for 0.5 seconds. It doesn't feel like a lot, but 0.5 seconds is a lot because if you combine it with other stuff like ASTDX freeze, it becomes like really noticeable. So, and we're also going to be placing one down here, and we're going to be placing one there because I really want to show you his support capabilities, because right now he's not really acting like the main DPS unit because you have other DPS units here like ASTDX and Zeke, but again, he can still be pretty useful because of his other powerful abilities that he can use. We're gonna place one down here as well, just as a like sort of support. And then now we're gonna go do this and make him full AoE basically. Now you can see right here, his full AoE is starting to affect a lot of the units and start to slow them down. Now, again, the stun is 0.5 seconds, so it's not really a big stun, but it will slow them down, not that much, but it is, in my opinion, good enough for it to be noticeable because he is a full AoE as well. Now, obviously, there's gonna be units who are gonna deal a lot more damage than him, but that's not really the point here because you can use him again as a support unit. Is he a better support than Blackbeard or ASTD? In my opinion, no. Killua is not really a better support than ASTD or Blackbeard, but he is a full AoE unit that's also heal, which means he can also target those flying units, whereas Blackbeard cannot. So that really is where he kind of excels in. Take a look at this guys right here and how they are getting affected by the stun. So the stun isn't really very noticeable. Maybe because like we're at 3 times speed, but if you are in 1 time speed, it is more noticeable. In 3 times speed, it's barely noticeable, but in my opinion, again, it's enough to slow them down. That's kind of like the purpose. Not really a stun, but more like just to slow them down and deal damage as well while doing that. His DPS, by the way, is 5,000 right there. This is with Genesis, but I think that's pretty good enough because he's not even max level, not even close to max level, with already 5,934 DPS, which is pretty good. And yeah, there we go. We just beat that pretty easily. That's pretty much it for today's video, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.